All right, everybody. How you doing? It's J Riley again at the J Riley Distillery. Set up the camera a little bit better here. I just wanted to talk about our last run of our little Allenbeck still here. OG. Little history about this. I think that the Middle East, they used to use this to make essential oils. Somewhere around 1400 years ago, Irish monks discovered it. I guess they were probably bored and put some beer in there and ended up with some whiskey. But we ran this the last time. We had the hot plate, not enough controllable temperatures, which really didn't matter on that last run. Not to say that heat doesn't matter, but we could have run it. And what we should have done, I should have explained, is more of a stripping run. A stripping run is your first run on a still like this. You're just going to throw your beer in there. You're going to apply the heat. You're going to let it run just like you would normally. But you're not going to do any heads, hearts, or tails cuts. You're just going to run it through. Go start, maybe it's going to start 120 proof or less, maybe 110, somewhere in there. And you're going to follow it all the way down to like 18 to 20% alcohol by volume. And then with that, it should come should come out to where it's about 40% ABV or 80 proof. Then you would collect that a few times, because the last time we ran it, you're probably going to get maybe a pint and a half. I don't know, maybe a quart. And then you're going to collect all that, and that's going to be your low wines. One reason they call it low wines, I think the Egyptians a long time ago distilled wine at one point. And you had your low wines, which was the wines that went in there first, and then your high wines would be what the still had produced. From the stories I've heard as far as the history on why we call it low wines or high wines. But the low wines go in there. You collect as much low wines as possible, hopefully a few gallons worth, so you can get at least, a half a gallon or 3/4 of a gallon of good finished whiskey product or high proof distillate. And so every time you run it through the still, it's going to get a higher proof. And 2 times pot distilled is pretty much the American tradition for whiskeys and bourbons. A triple distilled whiskey would be something like an Ireland, an Irish whiskey, or a Scotch, which is just takes a little bit more flavor of the grain that's left over in the distillation process. Maybe a little better at pulling some of the fusels out, things like that. But the American way was double pot distilled. But the copper Allenbeck stills old technology. One reason they use copper, because it's easily pliable. You didn't have to weld it. You could just solder it with very low technology. Some easy hammers to shape it, and some rocks or maybe some flat tables and iron or something like that to kind of shape what you need. So that was one reason they used copper. It was probably a little cheaper. It wasn't heavy. You could transport it. One of the benefits of using copper is it scrubs the sulfides or some of the impurities out of the distillation when it works. So a lot of stills are still made from copper because of that. Plus, the heat transfers faster. That's probably another reason why they used it 1,400 years ago when they first started. The heat transfer is more rapid, so they can get their pot hotter faster, quick, get through the run more rapidly. But yeah, just some stuff. We got one guy who had commented about how we didn't do it justice, and maybe he's right. We weren't trying to make it like, we're just trying to have some fun. We've been running stills here at J Riley's for 11 years as a certified distillery in Redlands here. But I've been distilling for about 15 years now. So that's where we're at. Just kind of wanted to do a follow up on that. But next time I'll try to do a little more in depth of the heads, hearts, and tails. These movies, these films that we're filming aren't really scripted. We're trying to get better at that. We're going to script it more, try to make it more informative. My thing is just to get the historical value out of a lot of things and try to give you guys as much information from inside here out. I'm not claiming to be the expert at distillation. I just do what I do here in Redlands. But if you're ever in town and would like to come by and see our process, see our still, we have a 350-gallon still, 500-gallon mash tun. It's a pretty cool small operation, and I think we're producing some pretty good whiskeys. So hopefully you guys do come by and visit, check it out, and you can enjoy some of our gin, vodka, or whiskey that we make, and maybe come on a tour. They're free Fridays and Saturday nights. So we'll see you here on YouTube, and thanks for following us. Please tell your friends to like and subscribe and share the videos, get more followers, get more information out there. We're just trying to make this a thing where everybody can kind of just learn some historical facts and, just a simple way to run a still or make some mash so you can have some alcohol at home. All right, we'll see you later.